Hello and welcome. If you are here, you are interested to learning about time banking, specifically the GSUS project and program that we are trying to start out. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Hi, I am Jaden. I'm an organizer out of the Bay Area, California chapter. Also help with the national side and getting, our chapter facilitators ready to go, all the resources and everything that they need to actually get their chapters up. Along with this project as well, this entire project is to also help everyone, not just chapter facilitators, but members as the whole and entire in and outside of GSUS to get them familiar with how to build community. Time banking, as this structure is being proposed as a framework, anyone can build community. You can reach out to your neighbors any day, every day, with any sort of concerns or needs, or maybe any proposals of help that you want to provide to your community. People know what, but people may not know how to provide that help. Time banking provides that structure. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The intentional community building time banking project and a revolutionary survival program. So let's get into it right here. Let's move me. So what is time banking, right? Time banking is like a local community bank that keeps track of time instead of dollars, right? It is an alternative way to give and receive resources. So for every hour you spend doing something for someone in your community, you also earn 1 hour to use to have someone else do something for you. So it's not, you don't have to pay back the person that helped you. You can pay it forward. I like say earn it forward. So maybe I'm a mechanic, I can fix your car. You don't have to give me any time back for me fixing your car. All you have to do is just give forward to the community under the skills and the comfortableness at which you have your capacity within. So what's in it for you? What's in it for me? What do we gain out of this? So for every hour you help, right, and you give, you also receive an hour of help yourself. You may get credit for things that you may not normally be rewarded for, but do anyways, or things that you love to do but don't often make time for. You can also save your scarce cash for things like rent, food, and medicine, and use time dollars for the rest, right? So we'll get into a little bit later. But time banking is to subsidize and to pad the economic struggles and conditions that which we exist in now. We'll also get into it. It's a dual power structure. But just to let you know, time banking is to help you, not a complete alternative. You're also making a difference in someone's life, whether it's giving someone a ride who doesn't have a car, tutoring a student, translating, sewing, or helping with computer problems, things that we may not be able to afford, but definitely need. You're contributing to a more caring culture and a healthy community to live in that can help you take care of you in the long run. And that's the purpose of building this time bank and the projects in general that help sustain community building. It is to provide long-term structures for our not just survival, but needs as well. As we understand in the capitalist system, we run things on a very short-term relative, right? You want to pump out as much profits out of your business. And then after that, hey, I don't know what's going on. So what if you don't have, you may think you don't have a skill or service to offer. Nay, you very silly person. At the core of time banking, it is the belief that everyone is valuable and everyone has something to offer. Think of the various tasks you do every day: cooking, driving, walking a dog, and your hobbies, sewing, graphic design, writing. For me, I'm a mechanic. I have all the tools and stuff, and I own the means to produce all of these repairs. And I have that within, my wheelhouse, my skill set, my resources. And I, of course, participate in my own time bank to provide that service, that skill that would otherwise have to be paid at a shop. So that's just kind of one example that you can think about using a time bank for. So you can subsidize those costs, just like we said in the last slide. You can use that money instead to pay rent. Otherwise, you have to pay a mechanic to go even look at your car, tell you what's wrong with it, not even fixing it yet. So the time bank economy is an informal economy of people doing the types of favors that families and neighbors have been doing for forever, right? Mentoring, braiding hair, guitar lessons, and chicken soup are all great things that you can provide to the community that you can exchange for time credits. And it's nothing's tied to a money thing. Time banking is not a fiscal money economy, right? So why time banking, right? We set up some questions, some what's, but why? So time banking brings intentionality to our organizing and allows us to bring ourselves closer to knowing how to own the means of production. Together organized, we have the means to take care of each other. When the system that is supposed to do that continues to oppress us and neglect us, not provide us those things. So time banking brings intentionality and structure. It gives you the how. People know what. People know what they want to do. They want to help people. They want to allow themselves to express and to invest in skills and hobbies and such that nurture this experience of life. Time banking provides that structure. So, and also time banking provides us what we said, dual power structure. So time banking allows us to wield power over our lives by engaging in community for our needs instead of relying on private enterprise and corporate entities. We use time banking to get what the system neglects to provide for us. For our survival, let us come together intentionally to seize the time to organize a world liberated from this capitalist oppression, from this hyper-individualistic mode in the society we live in, to defer away from the neighbors and community and to seek that of that private enterprise reliance, to make and pay with exchanges a paycheck privatized, and that makes us pretty much hyper individualistic. So you may be asking yourself, why is everyone's time given the same value? At a first glance, it may seem just a little crazy that someone is paid for the same for, let's say, web design and pulling weeds, right? 1 hour of web design. Some people may say, oh, that's much more skillful, laborious, and stuff than pulling weeds for an hour. But this turns out to be a core of what makes time dollars really work, right? Putting a price on people's time separates us by making people seem more valuable than others, which is entirely not true. Time credits excel in building relationships because they place an equal value on everyone's time and relationship above profit. Me, I'll go back to the mechanic example. I'm an automotive person, right? So it comes very easy to me. When I go look at someone's car or diagnose it or go ahead and fix it, I don't charge shop rates. I don't charge rates at all. Whenever I joined the time bank, I usually take time credits now. But I usually do the homie hookup prices, like, because right now, or as what I've noticed, I've seen in shops, is that they charge a lot for the overhead, the tools, the bills, and such. But when you work on someone's car as a little buddy, or as a time banker mutually, you can negotiate these terms and these such when you're having these intimate exchanges and these interactions and the conversations that you're having, discussing the problem that you need. Time banking introduces this more intimate type of personal relationship when it comes to addressing your problems, which builds community. So time banking also is this, and this project specifically is a survival program. So time credits aren't meant to replace the US dollar or any sort of currency for that fact. They are designed to counterbalance the market economy where people have invested special training to make their time, more valuable. There's nothing wrong with that. People may want to be compensated either which way to whatever the ends or the desires of which they want. It's just taken over too much of our experience of the world. We have become too transactionary, too much transaction, too much of this, this for that, and expecting an exceptionalism and all of these things that, derive from this capitalist mode of production. So almost everything is monetized, as we're very aware. We are building a parallel economy where people can take care of each other as families. So we build these extended families by villages or by geography and such, but we can alleviate the stresses of our financial situations by engaging in a type of economy that utilizes time and not this, this money thing, of which that time, of course, as we'll get into even more, some people may do stuff that's not like, anything to them. When I diagnose a car, it's not anything to me. To other people, it may be a lot. So how does an exchange work next? Let's say someone needs to help out in the garden for 2 hours, right? You can post a request in the time bank or search the time bank directory and contact another member to set up an exchange, directly. A time bank member then comes by and helps out in the garden. Once the service is completed, you transfer hours onto the time bank from your account to the other person's account. So you've spent 2 time dollars, 2, not 4, 2. And another member has earned 2 time dollars that can be spent elsewhere. As we said, you could pay it forward or earn it forward. You have to give it back to the person that helped you. When time flows in the time bank, a community member is making an impact on another member's life, contributing to positive material change. And that's what we're getting at, positive material change, because we're trying to make material change. We're trying to make positivity, and we're trying to further our material condition so that we can do this revolution, right? Survival programs, in essence, from the Black Panther Party are survival pending revolution. These programs are not meant to stay. They're meant to help us survive pending revolution. So how much time is involved, you may be asking yourself, maybe just one of those questions. You may participate in services exchanges as often as you are able to. Members may give or receive services every week, every month, maybe just a few times a year, once a year, doesn't matter. You are invited to help each other by doing what you enjoy when it is convenient, for you. And that is the stark difference between these capitalist mode of production, as we currently experience it, where you're forced to be at the workplace and forced to produce value because you need to live. Right? It is not convenient for you to be at work or at these institutions and establishments, especially when you're not producing a value that serves the best interest of yourself. You're lacking self-determination in your workplaces. So back to time banking, though. Usually, the more you give, the more you can get back in many different ways. Those time credits are very flexible. So many of the services people exchange in Time Bank are the types of things they do every day. I'm a mechanic. I fix cars. I do that stuff all the time. To me, it comes natural. We are all specialists in our own ways. And so we think about how much time and effort goes into what we do. Some people may need your skill, which may not seem like a lot to you, but you could be a day saver for someone else, for the other person. And likewise, with things that you may need, we are here to build a strong community that can rely on each other for our needs. So instead of relying on these corporate entities that only want our paychecks, only want our money, what's in our wallets, not what's in our heart and soul, our minds and understanding of the world. There is this lack of empathy and, of course, this lack of sympathy inside of these corporate structures. Everything's business, business, business. And that's what we're trying to break down. So that's pretty much it out of me when it concerns time banking. Time banking itself, as we propose it as, is this, project and survival program not intended to stay entirely. We may still have some sort of version or some sort of platform that utilizes this structure, but know and understand that time banking itself in this project and in this program, not here to stay, but to keep us within our, understanding of the world. We need this for our survival pending revolution. So time banking is a great way to break out of your shell if you needed a way and structure of how to go ahead and engage in your community, right? It may seem a little transactional to some people, and then at that point you could just skip over time banking because time banking provides that structure. Should you and your community be able to provide the resources and exchange the goods and services within your local area without time banking, all the more power to you. That is what we love to see. But this does conclude our conversation about time banking, which is that structure of how to provide that help for people who don't know how to. So this is just yet another avenue, and for us as the people to come together intentionally, building communities so that we can have a world liberated from capitalist oppression. So with that being said, all power to the people. Once again, this is Jaden out of the Bay Area, California chapter. GSUS, General Strike US, all day, every day. It's what we do. Help out the people, all power to the people. Long live the revolution, ACAB, fuck the pigs, all that. So thank you so much for watching and attending and paying attention. That's it out of me.